Hi and welcome back to Knitting with Betty. I am Betty. Firstly, thank you for all joining me back on my blog. I've had, I think as of the, I don't know what the date is, the 18th of March, I have 13 subscribers, so thank you very much for joining me. So today I'm going to go through a few things with you today that I've been up to. So I've actually had a busy couple of weeks, been on some nitty trips. So today I'm going to show you my third finished knit of the year, which is what I'm wearing here, and it is actually the first completed within 2024. So I think I started this in January and finished in the end of February, beginning of March. Then I've got the progress on my Hayworth sweater to show you. I'm currently on Sleeve Island, which is quite traumatic. Then my nitty trip, so I went to a local farm this week and bought some yarns from them. Also got some exciting yarn post to share with you. I can update you on my test knit as my yarn has come through the post for that as well. And then finally I've got my charity shop haul. So I went charity shop shopping this week and I bought the most amazing thing, but I will save the reveal for later because it's amazing. And then at the end we will have tea time. So I hope you all enjoyed tea time last week, even though my dogs were barking the whole way through it. I have them shut away, so hopefully they won't be barking this time. So let's get going. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this completed knit. So this is another of Squid's School of Knitting patterns, and it is, I think it's something like the Rose Street cardigan, and I've been sort of eyeing it up for quite a long time. This pattern's been out for a while, but I didn't have either the time or the kind of yarn that I wanted to use for it, but I finally got around to it. And this is, again, UK alpaca, so I think we've all established by now that I really love soft yarns. And this I bought, I went to the NEC in Birmingham with my mum last summer. We went to the quilting show there. I can't remember what it's called. But they had a stand there and this was in their sale section, so love a bargain. So that's my dog coughing, sorry about that. It was in the sale, so I thought, why not get some of this? I didn't know what I was going to knit with it, but because it was cheap, I thought, come here, Frank, come here, come here, you stupid dog. He does that thing where he backs away when you try and pick him up, which is not very smart, is it, baby? No, I love you too. Yeah, so this was in their bargain bin and I thought, well, I can't not have it, and it's beautiful, beautiful peachy colour. So I think I bought 6 50-gram balls of it, not really knowing what I was going to do with it. But yeah, I thought this cardigan would be perfect for this yarn. So I'll show you the back. Sorry, Frankie. So it's got sort of ribbing at the top, but the rest is stocking stitch. And the same for the front, so that there's a little section at the top that's ribbing, and then the rest is stocking stitch. And then it's got this gorgeous pattern on the sleeves. And this was a godsend really, because it meant that the sleeves went really, really quickly. So I worked out that there were 15 pattern repeats until the underarm cast off. So also, always when you have like a pattern, I always find like I want to get to the next bit, so it really spurs you on with knitting, and it makes you not think too much about doing the sleeves, because I knitted these sleeves separately and they were really quick to do. So yeah, I really love it. I think it's cute. The only thing I would say is I probably calculated my gauge a little bit, or my stitch count a little bit on the modest side, because it is a little bit snug. You can see the sort of buttons pulling a little bit. And I said last week that alpaca yarn is quite stretchy. Well, this is not stretched as much as I wanted it to when I blocked it. So I'm hoping that it will lose a little bit of its shape. as I wear it, which is obviously what you don't really want when you knit garments. You don't want them to lose their shape. You want them to stay nice and sort of as they should be. But because this is a little bit on the tight side, it would be really great if it could just relax a bit. Yeah, because I can't really eat much cake with this on, and it sort of gapes a little bit. But yeah, it's really cute, and I can just about get a blouse on underneath it, but it's a bit of a snug fit. But yeah, I can definitely see myself making this pattern again because it's so cute, and I think it'd be a really useful sort of spring and autumn time cardigan. He's licking me now. Thank you, Frankie, darling. Thank you. So yeah, that's the cardigan that I finished this year. So that's the third knit of the year. So progress with my Hayworth sweater. So I have now finished the front and back and joined both shoulders. So that's the back. And I have done the neckline. So this was a cute little detail. You do sort of a picot edge on the neckline there, which I think is really cute. So I've just got that to sew down, which I can do that during our tea time. There we go. So you just catch down the stitches. There's a row of pearl stitches there, which I think is really cute. And then I've got just the sleeves to do. And so I'm currently on Sleeve Island with no apparent end to it. I've got this far and I'm doing them 2 at a time. And that is because, as we've discussed last week, I'm quite short on this yarn. I have contacted the designer of the yarn, and she doesn't have any more of the base. I don't know if she's going to be able to get it in again, but I have a horrible feeling this isn't going to be quite enough for long sleeves, and I think I could probably get 3/4 sleeves, but I think it's going to look a bit weird. I just need long sleeves for this sweater. It's all I can think about. So what I did, from advice from some of my knitting friends, I did a provisional cast on. Now, I've not done this before, but you basically use a crochet hook and do a fancy kind of cast on, and it means that you can then undo this row of waste yarn and put them back on the needles so that you can knit the cuff. So it means that if I need to use a different colour or a different yarn, I can. Or what I might do, because the ribbing is quite deep on the body, I might be able to take like an inch, maybe 1.5 inches off the ribbing and use that for the cuffs, because it's only, I think it's only about 44 stitches, so it's not that much, and it's only about 1.5 inches to 2 inches the cuff ribbing. So I might just about get long sleeves out of it, but I mean, it doesn't look like there's very much left, is all I'm saying. Got this far, let's see how that would be up to here. Maybe I can block it to make it stretch a bit further. So I've still got quite a bit to go till the underarm cast off, and then then you start to decrease for the sleeve head. I just really hope that I can get a long sleeve jumper out of this one because it's so beautifully warm. But yes, I will keep you updated on that as it gets going. So the next thing I have to, thank you for rolling away. The next thing I have to show you is the yarn that I got through the post. So I've had 3 yarn parcels this week, or this past 2 weeks. So these are the colours that I chose for my beret for the test knit for Drawn Arbon Textiles. So let me just bring those closer. So as you can see, They're rather gorgeous. I'm loving this. Has got such a sort of mild M-A-R-L-E-D kind of texture to it. It's got sort of yellows running through and reds in the orange, which I think is really gorgeous. So these are meant to be the two lighter colours, and these are the two darker, and you get the contrast between the two. Now, as you can see, the grey is perfect. That's going to be really good. This one I'm slightly worried about. It's darker than I thought it would come out, and ideally you do need a much lighter colour to have that contrast between the two in the banding of the colour work. But I'm hoping that if I place them in the right order, it should be okay. I do have some other lighter yarns that I can use in an emergency if it doesn't work out, but yeah, I'm hoping they're going to be okay. And I will just check with the company before I post pictures of the progress of the berry, because I'm not sure if they want it released into the public yet, so I will check with them first before showing you the progress on that. But yeah, I just thought those were scrummy. And would you believe it, I have every other needle size in the world but the needle size that I need to cast on this project. So I haven't started it yet because I haven't got my needles through the post. Hopefully Amazon will deliver that tomorrow. So my second yarn post was this gorgeous yarn. It's from Hobbycraft. So I think Hobbycraft is the only place that sells the Women's Institute range of yarn. I don't know why. I've not actually used the Women's Institute range of yarns yet, but I saw somebody on Instagram was using this for a 1930s style sweater, and it was really, really pretty. So I hopped onto the website and ordered me some, and you'll be proud of me, guys, I ordered plenty of this just in case I had another Hayworth sweater debacle. So this is Aran weight, and each ball is 400 grams. I've bought 4. So I was a bit worried that maybe this might sell out. So there's 2 colourways of this range. There's this one and a cream, and the cream has already sold out, which is a shame because the cream was really pretty and I probably would have bought some of that as well. But yeah, it's an acrylic yarn, so it's really nice and soft. I just thought it was really pretty, and I can see myself doing like a 1940s type ski sweater in this. Something really nice and warm for the winter, for next winter, or this British summer. So yeah, I have 4 balls of this, so I think 400 grams, so I have 1600 grams of this, so I might be making lots of things in that. So the next I have this rather special parcel from PurlSoho. Let me just cover up my address. So I've heard about PurlSoho through another podcaster called the Happy Knitting Podcast. Shout out to Julia, she's lovely. So she does sort of modern style knitting, and she really loves PurlSoho, and she uses a lot of their yarns. So that's how I found out about their yarns. They're an American company, so again I risked a customs bill. Luckily I didn't get stuff. But according to Julia, if you order below £135, then you don't get stung by customs. So always bear that in mind. This came to, I think it came to $144, which I don't know what that is in pounds. But they do some really, really gorgeous yarns. I particularly love their ranges that have lots and lots of different kinds of colours. So the colours that Julia uses on her knitting are always really sort of vibrant, kind of corals and pinks and things. So she has such good taste in yarn. And so I've been sort of umming and ahhing about PurlSoho yarns for quite a while now. But I finally made an order because this particular yarn that I bought was in the sale, and it is a new range, and it is cashmere yarn, and it's 95% recycled cashmere. So I thought, well, you know, I'm doing my bit for the environment, aren't I, by buying recycled cashmere. What was that groan for? So yeah, you have no idea how like self-restraint I have had, like not opening this. So let's open it together, see what it's like. Now the only thing with their cashmere range is that they don't have very many colours. They tend to, I think they've stuck with sort of your sort of classic colours, so things like navy, cream, black, sort of a winey red colour. Ooh, this is exciting. I am a sucker for marketing. Ooh. So that one here. Welcome to PurlSoho. It was my first order. Ooh. What is this? Brass repair hook. That's exciting. What is that? Enjoy this handcrafted brass repair hook. It is excellent for picking up dropped stitches and correcting all sorts of knitting and crochet mistakes. We hope it becomes invaluable to your crafting. Thank you for shopping at PurlSoho. And that is great marketing there, guys. Props to the marketing department, give them a rise. A little bag that I can put my yarn in. So yeah, as I say, they have stuck to your classic colours, so like wine red, navy, hunter green, and I went for what colour is this? Flower sack. Isn't that a nice descriptor? So there we go. Let's move it into my light a bit more. So it's sort of this kind of, say, oatmeal-y kind of a colour. It's kind of a neutral, and I thought if I'm going to be knitting anything, I can always use like an accent colour, or if I'm doing some colour work I can use sort of a cheaper colour yarn, because these were $30 a ball, but with the discount it brought it down to $24 I think, which I did look up. I think it was about £18, and that is 50 grams I'm assuming. Can't quite see. I think it's 50 grams anyway, but yeah, it's 95% recycled cashmere, 5% other fibres. It's gorgeous. I mean, it's not as soft as this alpaca cashmere blend that I have, but it's still pretty soft. But yes, I'm very excited about this. I don't know what I'm going to make with it, but I got enough. I got 6 balls of that, so that should be enough for a sweater if I mix it with something else. And this is their 4-ply, I think. It's a 4-ply. Doesn't say. Oh yeah, 50 grams. It is 50 grams. But yeah, exciting stuff. It's always exciting when you get post, but my postman has started remarking on the number. Are you okay, baby? Yeah. My postman has started remarking on the number of parcels that I have, which is slightly embarrassing, isn't it? So that was my yarn post of excitement. So then the final sort of yarny bit that I have for you is I had a trip out to a local farm. So I went to a farm called Gutchpool farm, and they are in Gillingham in Dorset, and I've been to their farm before a few times. I've done workshops there, so they have sort of different aspects to the farm. They have a bed and breakfast, they have their flock of sheep, and they have their workshops. So I've been on 2 workshops there. I went, I think it was about this time last year, to a basket weaving course, and I made a little foraging basket. So it's actually outside at the moment, so I will pop a picture up of basket that I made and all the forage goods that I have been able to forage since. And what I loved about the course that I went on was that it was a day course, so I made the basket in a day, and everything was included. All the materials were included, and also a homemade lunch. So I think we had homemade soup with sourdough bread, and then some local cheeses with the sourdough as well, which was absolutely yummy. And there were lots of homemade cakes as well throughout the day with tea and coffee. And yeah, I liked it so much that I went back for another basket course, and I made a bread basket the following time, which I actually use as a yarn basket more often, to be honest with you. So let me go and get it. Sorry, Frank. There you go. So this is the basket that I made, the bread basket, which is actually my yarn basket, oops, at the moment. And it is filled with Gutchpool yarn. So what I love about Gutchpool Farm is that they have a very sort of natural approach to farming. So they've been at the farm since 2004, the family that own it now, and before they had the farm, it was an arable farm, and this had basically ruined the soil there, so they couldn't grow any crops when they moved there. So they turned to sheep farming to try and get some nutrients back into the soil, and the sheep sort of plodding all over the land kind of reinvigorates the ground again. And where they are is quite flat and quite marshy, so they have replanted or rewilded some of the farm, and they've planted willow, which they hope to grow enough to make so that we can use their homegrown willow on the basket courses eventually. I don't know how long down the line that takes, but yeah, I really love their ethos of sort of rewilding and the land going back to how it used to be. So planting the willow has kind of acted as a sponge for the land, because it is so marshy and sort of prone to flooding there. It helps soak up some of that water. And again, with their sheep farming, their sheep only graze on grass, so they're completely 100% grass fed, which apparently helps with the taste of the meat. It makes it a lot yummier, apparently. I don't know how. And every part of the sheep is used. So I am a meat eater. I'm not squeamish about eating meat. Well, I think I would be if I had to kill a sheep. Anyway, I think it's important when you do eat meat that you know where it comes from. And we had some of their lamb last Easter, and honestly it was the best lamb that we've had for years. Now, we used to always buy New Zealand lamb because, no offence to the Welsh lamb, but New Zealand lamb was always reliable, it always tasted good, and it was always nice. But having had sort of ethically grown lamb from Gutchpool Farm, it is completely different. And we don't eat lamb very often because it's so expensive, but actually when you looked at the price of their meat compared with some of, say, Waitrose or Marks and Spencer's, it's not that much more expensive. And seeing as we don't eat lamb that often, we might as well eat ethical lamb rather than having it flown halfway across the world. So yeah, and they look after their animals. So one of the things that I said to Rachel, the owner, was, oh my god, the lamb was so good, it was so tender, because whenever we've had supermarket lamb, it's always been really chewy. And she said, Frank! Don't laugh at me! Come here, little rat back. Sorry, sausage, you don't cuddle yet, I know. So one of the reasons it is chewy, or meat becomes chewy when you cook it, is if the animals are stressed when they're slaughtered, which again, it doesn't sound very nice, does it? But I am a meat eater, so it's important to sort of know these things and to know that they're cared for in life and death. Their sheep, it's quite reassuring, I think. So for the small amount of lamb that we eat, definitely go for your sort of farm, local farm if you can, if it's not too cost prohibitive. Oh, was I boring you? Sorry. But yeah, they use every part of the sheep. So obviously they produce meat with the lambs, but they also have products from the lambs. So they have the yarns, they have sheepskins, so sheepskin rugs, and they also have wool rugs made from their wool. So every part of the lamb. Tessie. So every part of the animal is used. So with their yarns, I have actually gone for their more neutral or natural type yarns. So I was really drawn to these natural colours. I think they're really, really beautiful. So there you go. That's their double knit. This one, this gorgeous brown here, it's one of their Shetland. And got Dorset down in a cream, which I think is beautiful. And what have we got here? Shetland again. It's gorgeous deep brown. Is that all of them? Jacob. Did I show you Jacob? Yeah, that was the double knit one. But yeah, I think they're just absolutely beautiful colours. Sort of, I've chosen these two to sort of make like Icelandic type knits, or Norwegian type knits. Well, it's not really colour work, is it? It's not a colour, but so I'm going to make with that, and I'm going to use these. Probably going to knit my dad a scarf on my knitting machine with these ones. But yeah, I've got a few colours to play around with, so I will let you know how I get on with those. Probably won't get around to doing those till realistically next sort of September, in a panic for Christmas, or for the winter season. So I always find it hard to like knit wintry things in the summer when it's hot. But yeah, that's Gutchpool Farm. I took some pictures of the sheep and some of the and of the shop as well. If you are in the area and want to go and visit them, I recommend you go and visit them. Rachel, the owner, is lovely. She always remembers my name, which I think is absolutely amazing because I'm so rubbish with people's names. But yeah, they're really hospitable there, and the courses that they run are really good. They do all sorts of courses. So they've done the basket weaving, they've done lino cutting, they've done creative writing courses there, watercolour courses, what else? I think that's all of the ones I can remember. But the basket lady's apparently going back, she's made a gardening trug for them, so there's hopefully going to be a course on that soon, which I'll probably sign up to because I really love gardening. But yeah, look at those. Oh, and this would be nice with this. Look at that. Here. Gorgeous. So if you're local, if you're in Dorset or Devon or Wiltshire or just nearby, go in and see them. They're lovely people, and they would be more than happy to welcome you there, I'm sure. Okay, now I did go charity shop shopping this week, and I know it's not knitting related, but I had to show you what I bought, so let me go and get it. So in another life, I worked in the lingerie industry. So my degree was in contour fashion, which is lingerie, swimwear, corsetry and performance sportswear, so like sports bras, that kind of thing. And we worked a lot with lace, so I appreciate a beautiful lace, and someone had donated a big basket of lace goods. So I had a little rummage through, and these are some of the things that I picked up. So this is a little tea tray cloth, which I just thought was so sweet. And look at the beautiful lace around it, and little is this hardanger this called, where they where you pull out threads. But yeah, I just thought that was really sweet. And everything in this basket was £1.50 per item. So bargain, £1.50. I'll have that. Then I bought some little doilies. So I'm going to pop some beads on the end of these and make little sort of jam jar covers, or teapot kind of, they're called milk jug covers for the summer, because I always find it really annoying when there's flies flying around. So again, £1.50 for these. I thought this one was pretty as well. This is more of a thicker lace. You know, the testy pops what you do. And I'll show you this one closer up. Look at that, isn't it beautiful? I couldn't resist. So yeah, that's £1.50. And this little bag of goodies was £1.50. Now anyone who's worked with anybody who's worked with French lace will know how horrendously expensive it is. So when I saw this, I squealed. £1.50. Well, not even that, because it was a bag full of it. Look at that. Lever's lace. Like, I can remember paying, I think it was £125 for a metre of lace trim. So lingerie trim is like this thick. £125. So this is just stunning. Look at that fine lace work there. That was one of the sort of cut-offs in the bag. And then this one I think is more of a sort of mass-produced. It's not as special. It's pretty nonetheless. And then this one I thought was quite unusual. This one reminds me more of like an English Nottingham lace rather than a French Lever's lace. Put it the right way around. Look at that. That's beautiful. It's more of a cotton rather than your fine sort of silky kind of laces. But look at that. That would have been expensive. So yeah, I got very excited by the basket of lace and picked out all the good bits and the doilies to make little jar covers. And then the piece de resistance. Are you ready for this? I am a big fan of kitsch. Now this was quite expensive for a charity shop. This was £15, and I didn't buy it at first on the day that I bought the lace, because I thought, Teddy! I didn't buy this at first because I thought, oh, that's quite dear, and I left it, and it was in the shop window, and I thought, I need that. I took a picture of it to show everyone, because I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Because it is a decanter, by the way. A copper decanter. How could you not want this? Who would throw this out? So yeah, I left it in the window, and I got home and I showed my friends, and they were like, oh my god, you need that. And so actually my dad was in town the next day, so I made him go back and buy it. And apparently everyone had been sort of stopping in the window and looking at it and laughing at it because it's so amazing. Look at it. Why would you throw it away? I mean, honestly, how amazing is that? I can't. So yeah, this proudly sits on top of my china cabinet. Just love it. I think it's got such a cute little face. And it was for charity, so I couldn't not buy it really, could I? So that's everything that I've got to tell you this week, I think. I'm going to go and pop the kettle on, and I'll see you back here for tea time. Welcome back to tea time. I have a lovely cup of Earl Grey with me. So when I was out and about at the farm, we me and my knitting buddies went to a farm shop first and had some lunch. And so I got some loose leaf Earl Grey. Oh, it smells good. Yum. So I hope you've got a drink with you, either tea or coffee. I'm not fussy. So today during tea time I'm going to sew down my collar edge, but I thought I would tell you about one of my favourite TV series to knit to. So it is this series here, and it is called Secret Army. So those of you in the UK will have heard of Allo Allo. Well, this is the serious drama that show was based on. So Allo Allo is a spoof sort of comedy show about a French cafe owner who is always in trouble with his wife for sort of flirting with the bar staff, and they're always trying to help some English airmen evade capture from the Germans. So, but it's all very sort of slapstick and comedy, whereas this is the sort of serious drama that it was based on. So this is about a Belgian cafe owner and him and his sort of network of friends who help British airmen to escape capture and get back to Britain so they can fly again and fight the Nazis. So it's a really, really good series. Now this was made in the late 70s, early 80s, so the sets are a bit cardboardy, I'm not going to lie. It's quite sort of made on a budget, shall we say. But the acting is incredible. It can be a bit sort of dated, just from sort of a production value and, you know, the cardboard sets and sort of the way that the actors speak. They're all quite well spoken, but it's so superbly acted. It's so good. It's quite compelling and sort of makes you think at times. Some of the things that they had to do to sort of keep the integrity of the escape line, and amazingly most of it was based on a true story, so a real network of resistance fighters or evading capturers at the time. So I actually bought a book that was written about the series, and this book has some of the true stories behind the episodes. So it goes through each episode in quite detail and gives you sort of the historical stories behind it and some of the sort of problems that they came up against whilst making this series, because at the time, in the late 70s, early 80s, people had sort of tired a little bit of series about the war. I think that generation was starting to get a little bit older, and the younger generation was coming through, and people were sort of a bit bored of sort of war dramas all the time on telly. But I'm so glad it was made, because it's so sort of thought-provoking and compelling. And then this is the box set that's actually got the series that was made after Secret Army, so after the war, Kessler, the series, and this is a really, really good series. It's set, I think, in the sort of late 70s, early 80s, and it's about the head Nazi was called Kessler, and he was the evil one, and he, at the end of the war, evaded capture, and he fled to South America. Or actually no, I think he became a successful businessman in Germany, and then this series picks up where he's just being found out by the press about his Nazi past. So he flees to South America, and it's about sort of the network of Nazis in South America. But yeah, anyway, it's a really, really good series. I really recommend this, and the best thing about it is the wardrobe, if we're honest. I mean, the storylines are brilliant, the acting's brilliant, but yeah, the main character Monique is like she runs the cafe for the main guy. I think he's called Albert, and she's his mistress. You can see the sort of parallels there. But she, in the second series, they because they've been profiteering from the Nazis, they've been running the cafe and taking money from the Germans, and sort of making out that they're on their side, but really they've been running these escape lines for British airmen. That's their kind of cover. So in the second series they get a better sort of more upmarket premises, and so Monique's costumes become more elaborate. She starts singing for the Germans, and yeah, she's got some really beautiful dresses in that. But yeah, some amazing costumes, amazing knitwear. So if you can get hold of the box set, I implore you to, because it's such a good series. And if you can get the book as well, this is on Amazon. It's so good, and it gives you those true stories behind the real, sort of the real life characters, which I always find really interesting. Sort of the true stories of these brave people who ran these lines, because they literally risked their lives and the lives of their friends and family if they were ever discovered. So I'm going to get on with some sewing. I've put my dogs away so that they don't bother me, so I won't be barking, and hopefully this week. But I'm going to get on with, I'm going to put a timer on actually for 10 minutes, just to everyone to slow down, take some time just to enjoy a craft that you want to. It's 10. There we go. So I realised after filming this last week, or the week before, wasn't it, I look quite sort of gormless when I'm knitting, so I'm going to try not to look so weird whilst sewing away. nice relaxing 10 minutes of crafting, whatever you're crafting. I've done not much. But I'll carry on with that tonight actually. But yeah, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe, whichever corner it's in. And yeah, thanks to everyone who's commented already. I've been welcomed with open arms by the vintage community on YouTube, so thank you. But even if you don't like vintage knitting, I think this podcast for just yarn lovers of all kind really. So yeah, see you next time.